Hey, what's up, guys? It's Dylan from Team Oversight, and today we're going to bring you a deck profile made by my brother, Wyatt. He is doing Blue Eyes. So without further ado, here he is.
Alright, now I've always liked this deck even before it was confirmed with good support, because if you just make a Blue Eyes Ultimate White Dragon against Cosmos once and win with it, I think that, first of all, that Cosmo player should just off themselves, and second of all, you're just going to have fun with this build. So, first, main card of the deck, Blue Eyes White Dragon. If you wonder why, I don't know what to tell you. It's just the whole deck revolves around this card. If you wonder why, just read the cards. Next, 3 Dragon Spirit of White. Now this card is really good because with Dragon Shrine, which we'll get to that later, you can send it and it'll count as a normal engrave, which means you get to send another. Dragon Shrine's just Foolish Burial for dragons that if you send a normal, you can send an additional dragon-type monster to the grave, and it is at 3, so that's always fun.
Good for deck then, too.
Oh, yeah. Plus, this deck will run out of the graveyard, and this card is always considered a normal when in the grave and the hand. It comes up a little bit in hand, and we'll get to that later, but whenever it's special summoned, you get to banish one spell or trap card on the field. So, really good removal. Only problem is it can miss timing, so if you chain like Silver's Cry, your effect will not resolve. And if your opponent controls a monster, you even get to tag out like Cosmos by tributing it to special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand. So, they go tag out Dark Destroyer pop, you go tag out Blue Eyes White Dragon, and you just saved yourself from negging 1. Okay. Next we have Sage with Eyes of Blue. He is probably my favorite art in the deck. He just looks completely sweet. His effect is when he's summoned, add 1 level 1 light tuner from your deck to your hand. Only when he's normal summoned. But I hardly use that, but when I do, I'm probably going to set up a board that's going to keep my opponent from playing. His other effect is that when he's in your hand, you can target 1 effect monster you control by discarding him to special summon a Blue Eyes from your deck. Not a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Blue Eyes monster. So you can summon this because it has the effect that it is always considered a Blue Eyes card. Really good because you'll go target Maiden effect, you just get 2 free Blue Eyes right off that. Then 3 Whitestone, mostly just for your cards of consonance and its engrave effect. At the end phase of the turn it was sent to the graveyard for whatever reason. You can special summon a Blue Eyes from your deck. Either one of these 2, always good. And when it's in the graveyard, you can banish it to add 1 of these guys from the graveyard back to your hand. 2 Maiden. If any of you aren't really sure what Maiden does, it has no normal summon effect like most of the other tribals do, but whenever she's targeted for whatever reason by whatever, you can special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon. It has to be the normal one. It cannot be this one. Because this card was made before they even decided they were going to make more support for any of this stuff. But that's really good because Sage Knight, Target, Maiden, you get 2. That's 2 cards for 2 level 8 3000 beaters. Or a spell removal and a 3000 beater. Also, whenever she is attacked once per turn, you can negate the attack and special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon. You can only use 1 of her effects per turn, though. Only 1. So you can't go, okay, target Maiden, oh, you attacked Maiden, negate. Can't do that, sadly. It'd be too busted. 1 Master. Oh, I only like 1. Some people run 2, and I can see why, but I tried him at 2. He just showed up too much in my hand. I usually want to get this guy out of my deck with Foolish Burial. That's just it. His effect is when he's normal summoned, you can add one level 1 light tuner monster from your graveyard back to your hand, and when he's in the graveyard, you can shuffle him away, which is cost. So if you go activate Master and you're playing Cosmos and they go Cosmojo it, they can't. Because he will shuffle himself away as cost and target one of your effect monsters before they can even resolve an effect. And once you do that, he will send your effect monster to the graveyard if the effect is successful. And you will special summon from your graveyard a Blue Eyes monster. So that's either of these two guys or one of the extra deck monsters that we'll get to here in a little bit. One White Stone, just because you only really need one, and honestly, I usually get it out of the deck with Dragon Shrine before I draw it. Otherwise, it's just another card to discard off Cards of Consonance. Most of you should know its effect from Deep Draw Exodia. Just when it goes to graveyard, add a Blue Eyes to your hand. It is multiple times per turn, so it can be good.
Is that it for the monsters?
That is it for the Blue Eyes specific cards.
Okay.
Next we have Glow Up Bulb. Just a good card in general. Usually summon it off 1-for-1, because if you have it and a Blue Eyes White Dragon, you can go into Crystal Wing. And I'll go over in that plan a little bit. Some of you may know it by now, others may not. And it may seem weird to you, those thinking, wait, Crystal Wing's a level 8 and it requires a level 7 Synchro monster. Trust me, you can do it. It's just really cheeky. And then one Effect Veiler, because he is searchable in this deck off Sage Knight's normal summon. He is a level 1 light tuner, so might as well have one. He's searchable, good against Monarchs. Not all that good against Cosmos, but you can make them use resources before they want to. Like, if they have Farm Girl and you have, like, a stupid level 1 tuner that isn't going to do anything, you can just go, Effect Veiler, you can either tag out or you can just lose its effects altogether. 3 Trade-In. You have 6 level 8s that can be added back to your hand from the graveyard. You should obviously play this card because it's essentially Pot of Greed. 3 Silver's Cry. Monster Reborn for your 3 dragons. You can use it on White Spirit just because it says that while it's in the graveyard, it is a normal monster. So, it does work. 3 Swing of Memories. This card is just a filler for right now. When the new Felgrand Structure deck comes out, these are automatically coming out for Gossipole, which is just better. But what this does is it lets you special summon a normal monster or from the graveyard, but it's destroyed during the end phase. Doesn't really matter, because if you summon it off this, you're probably going to want to overlay or synchro with it or whatever. Now, one thing that makes this card good, as opposed to Silver's Cry, is this is multiple times per turn. Silver's Cry is not. 2 Cards of Consonance. You only play 2 because you're only playing 4 Dragon tuners. A lot of people I've been seeing online have not been reading this card, and that it has to be a dragon type tuner. You cannot discard Sage or any of those. Otherwise, people would have been running it with frickin' Effect Veiler. Another Pot of Greed, basically. 2 Mausoleum. This card, it gives you an additional normal summon of a level 1 light tuner. So, basically, if you have this and a Sage Knight and a way to get a Blue Eyes on field, that's another way to make Crystal Wing, which I'll get to here in a little bit. But it's a field spell for Blue Eyes, which is something I never thought I'd see. send a normal monster from your, I believe it's normal dragon. Nope, just a normal monster from your hand or your deck. So you send a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck and a White Spirit from your hand. That's where that's important. You cannot spend White Spirit from deck, which is sad. Then you target one of your not effect monsters, any monster. So target Maiden. Sorry, I got that wrong. It's target, then send. Send is not cost. So target Maiden, special summon. That's good. Then you send one, so you're foolishing in the process. And Maiden will then actually have attack. She'll have 800 attack. Bet none of you thought you'd see that. It does have another effect where you can banish it from the graveyard to add a burst stream, but you shouldn't play burst stream. It'll just, because burst stream's just all your Blue Eyes, so. 2 Twin Twisters. You don't really care about having cards in your hand or anything. Like, you run off the graveyard, essentially. Doesn't really matter, so. Play 2, sometimes you'll have to do jank plays just to be able to do anything, and this card really helps with that. Spell removal is always good, so. 3 Dragon Shrine. It is Foolish Burial for dragon types only. You send one dragon type to the graveyard, and then, if the card you sent was a normal, you can send another. You can only use 1 Dragon Shrine per turn. So that's where this is important. You have to make sure the first one is a normal. Some people will try and get cheeky with you and say you have to send the normal one first, and they might try and get you DQ'd. You know, there's always that one guy. Hasn't happened to me yet, but I'm sure it'll happen to someone here soon. 1 Raigeki. Raigeki's just good in my opinion. A lot of people don't main it. I think you honestly should, because, I mean, what's the harm? It's just like, okay, you're playing Cosmos, they'll just float down. They're still using resources. And probably going to, honestly, I usually see this first turn because, you know, I've got Trade In and Cards of Consonance and Foolishes all around, so I'm deck thinning a lot turn 1 and drawing. Hopefully. There are times when you can't, sadly. This is still Yu-Gi-Oh! And you don't always get the hand you want.
That can still OTK too, can it?
Oh, yeah, it definitely can. You can OTK with 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons.
So.
Yeah.
Good for board wipes.
Yeah. Foolish Burial. If I have to explain that, I don't want to, so. I will say this. Usually with Foolish, you're going to want to send Master so you don't draw him. Unless it's late game, then you don't want a Foolish Master because, you know, adding cards back to your hand that you usually can't get back is pretty good. 1 for 1. I always use this to summon our good friend Glow Up Bulb. Because 1 for 1 into Glow Up Bulb make Crystal Wing. That's the whole thing. That's the whole reason I want it. If you've already used your Glow Up Bulb and then you get 1 for 1, you're probably going to go for Maiden. Because your tribals like Master and Sage Knight, they don't get their effects if they're special summoned. So this isn't going to get you any effects if you summon them. If you summon them, you're probably screwed in the long run anyways. And then for traps, 1 Solemn Warning. It's just really good against Cosmos because if you open up with it and you're going first, sometimes they only get that 1 normal summon. Hopefully they only get that 1 normal summon. Sometimes they have E-Tele and then it's just like, oh, but still, using that against them when they have E-Tele is still good because that means they're working with less than what they could have. So you could be stopping an OTK. And that's the 40-card main deck. Now we're going to the extra deck. I'll start with the one-ofs. Divine Dragon Knight Felgrand. He's really good because you can either use him to protect himself and make sure you always have a board, or better yet, you can use it to stop an opponent's effect. Granted, that card becomes unaffected by all other card effects, but just having a quick effect monster that can be like, oh, you want to, let's say, tin can, negate it. If they don't have anything to tag out into, they just lost their search. So, might as well have it in there just in case.
Really good against F-Zero as well.
Yes, it is. It is very good against F-Zero because you can negate F-Zero, then just take him out with one swing. Don't make sure you're targeting F-Zero with it and not himself, because if you target himself, F-Zero won't die. This card, number 46, Dragalon, I don't really go into it. It's more for preparation of if and when this deck gets really popular. What it is that if it's the only dragon you control, you can activate its effects. One is to special summon a dragon-type monster from your hand. One is make it so dragon-type monsters your opponent controls cannot activate their effects. And it's until the end of their turn. And it has one other effect for your opponent, take control of one of their dragons. So it's like, okay, you're playing in the mirror and your opponent made dark matter. You make this, take their dark matter, and you're probably going to kill them, in all honesty, because that's a lot of damage. Because this has a 3,000 base anyways. But right now, it's almost useless. I mean, occasionally you'll see a Cosmo player go into him. Oh, wait, no, he's a warrior, my bad. Occasionally you'll see a Cosmo player go into Hope Harbinger, though, but if they got Hope Harbinger out, you're probably not going to be able to make this, because a lot of your special summon ways rely on spell cards, and they'll probably stop them. So, there is that. But this card will become really good if and when this deck probably becomes meta. I think it honestly will, because it does have a good consistency basis. And a normal 3,000 beater that can't be targeted by Fogblade is always good. Then we have the Galaxy Eyes part of the deck. Hope Harbinger. He is really good against Cosmos because you'll negate their spells for free and gain some materials. Every once in a while you'll get to use his second effect of making him the attack target, which is really funny because a lot of people forget about that. So they'll just be like, alright, I'll attack into one of your little tribals with very little attack, and you'll go, detach, no, you have to attack him. I believe it's any monster, and whenever they would attack another monster. And then if an Xyz monster you control dies, you can target him and he gains their attack. But that's not really relevant because usually you won't have more than one on field, and if you do, they're not really going to have a way to just destroy one. They'll probably be destroying all of them at once. Then you have number 62, Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. He is one of my favorite cards in the extra deck. He gains 200 attack for the combined totals of every rank on the field. So by himself, he gains 1,600 attack, and he's already at 4,000. So against like PK Fire, you're going to be gaining a lot of attack. Downside is they only take half damage, and even if you don't activate that effect, they still take only half damage, which is really sad. But still, I've gotten this guy up to over 10,000 attack. So that's just nuts. So he can basically attack over any Xyz. Then you have number 107, Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon. Took me a while to get this card, but during the battle phase, you can detach and negate all other monster effects on the field permanently, I believe, not just until the end phase. Yeah, it's permanently, and then if any effect would resolve, because like Cosmos can still activate their tag out effect, but if they do, he gains 1,000 attack. So they'll just be making him stronger. They may bother with it, they may not. If they do, they're probably going to pop it with Dark Destroyer, but like still, I wouldn't really make him against Cosmos.
What would you make him for against?
Rogue decks mostly, because like a lot of rogue decks have effects that take place during the battle phase, or they'll have something that'll resolve whenever their things die. I mean, it's still kind of good against Cosmos, because like if you have another big beater and they have a Dark or Destroyer, you use him because you'll run over their Dark Destroyer, maybe suicide with it with a Blue Eyes. He does get an additional attack if they activate a card effect. So you're basically, if you make it against Cosmos, it's wear out materials. It is good against PK Fire, because you negate their. Actually, no, I'm not good against PK Fire. Sorry, I don't have much experience doing PK Fire, but like the main reason I run this is to go into Dark Matter, in all honesty, without wasting number 62. And I'm going to show you that play right now. By summoning him, you can then summon Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Photon Dragon really easily, because you just slap him on top. It's like the Nova Infinity thing, basically. And you can detach from him to pop a monster. Not a monster, any face-up card. So you can see how that's just good in its own, and he's a 4K beater. But when you go into him, you should not stay with just him. You should go into number 95, Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter. And you can actually use his summon effect in this deck, which is to force 3 dragons with different names, and force your opponent to banish 3 monsters from their deck. Against Cosmos, it doesn't really matter because they run off anywhere, but you're also benefiting yourself, because you can send like White Stone and Ancient White Stone and then get their effects. And then you can detach him to make an additional attack. You get an additional attack into monsters. So a 4K beater's really good on its own. Sadly, it only comes in a gold rare, which kind of sucks, but like it's still a really good card, and you should definitely run it. Now for synchros, I'm going to start with the Blue Eyes synchros, just so none of you get confused. The very first one I'm going to start with, Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. You can run 2 of this or 3 of it. Either's good, but you should definitely run more than 1. This is the extra deck monster you can summon off Master if he goes to the grave. His effect is once per turn you can negate an effect that activates in graveyard. That is activate, so even if a Cosmo card leaves the graveyard to activate their effect, you can still negate it. So that's always good. It's really good against PK Fire because you can negate their effects. He also has a tag out effect. You can tribute him to special summon any Synchro Light Dragon from your extra deck, which is how you go into Crystalling. You will be tagging him out for either Moonlight, Michael, or if you want Ancient Fairy Dragon, which I don't personally play because, like, other than Cosmos, nothing really runs a field spell. Oh, well, Monarchs do, but you're not touching your extra deck if they got their field spell, so that's useless. But it's really good. Moonlight is, you can, whenever it's summoned, you can bounce a special summon monster back to your hand, or whenever your opponent special summons a monster with, I believe it's a level 5 or higher monster, you can bounce it back to their hand, and that's not once per turn, so you'll go special summon Moonlight, bounce. If you side Gamma Seal, you can tribute one of their guys for Gamma Seal, special Moonlight, then bounce the Gamma Seal back to your hand, which is really gross. Michael is just another spell removal card, and these 2 are level 7, so they're how you're going into Crystalling with Glow Up Bulb. So Glow Up Bulb will go to the grave, then you'll mill for Glow Up Bulb, standard thing, then you'll make Crystalling off him. or Moonlight, because they are both level 7s.
Now when Spirit Dragon summons them, they die at the end of the turn, correct?
Yes. But there is one Synchro monster that will not die at the end of the turn if you summon it, and that is Ozurize, who you should definitely run 2 of, because he makes all Dragon-type monsters you currently control unaffected, not unaffected, but they cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects until the end phase of the next turn after he was summoned. Because he does say whenever he is special summoned, not synchro summoned, special summoned. And then during your standby phase, which if you have a Spirit Dragon at the end of your opponent's turn, you should probably tribute it to special summon him just so you can get the standby phase effect, which is to special summon a normal dragon type monster out of your graveyard. So that counts for both Spirit and Blue Eyes White Dragon. But say he gets Veilered on his summon so his effect doesn't resolve, or Fog Bladed, it doesn't really matter, because like they still use up resources just for one card that you didn't actually need, but would just make their day a lot worse. And then for the last Synchro monster, Crystal Wing. You just make this against some decks and they auto lose to it, because what it does is once per turn you can negate a monster effect and destroy that monster, and he gains their attack. So if they're like, oh, attack with Honest, you'll go negate. You won't gain 14 off that because it will already be in the graveyard and it doesn't destroy. But other monsters that activate in hand and don't go to grave, when you negate, he gains their attack. And then if he attacks a level 5 or higher monster,
He gains their attack.
he gains their attack. So this is a Stardust with a Moon Mirror Shield equipped to it, essentially. Because if it's under level 5, it's probably not attacking over Crystal Wing, especially since Cosmos don't really run Honest anymore.
Yeah, a lot of the meta game now, their monsters are level 8 or higher, like Dark Cosmos, Monarchs, and even Mermails and stuff.
Yeah. And then, for the last card in the extra deck, one fusion monster, Twin Burst. Now, a lot of people think you can just, use Dragon Shrine to summon this. You cannot use Poly or anything like that to summon this, which is sad. He must be summoned by his own effect, which is a contact fuse between 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons. Not Blue Eyes cards, Blue Eyes White Dragons. That you control. They have to be on field. You can't just discard them from your hand or something. I saw a dude cheating at a regional with it, even after I told him 5 million times that you cannot do that. And his effect is he cannot be destroyed by battle. So you can just wreck him into whatever and not even care. And if the other monster survives, it gets banished. So that's really good. And then he can make an additional attack into monsters. So say they negate the first attack and it's still in the battle phase, he can attack again. He is worded just so. And I'm not going to do a side deck just because it changes so regularly. But that's my extra deck and that's my deck. I hope you enjoy this deck as much as I do. It is my all-time favorite deck. So if you like the video, then obviously hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. We're just getting started. We can use all the subscribers. And we may see you at regionals. We have a few people in our little group that are going to Nats. So we'll see some of you there. Our team will likely be there. Say hi if you want. Please subscribe. We are just getting started, but we could use all the help. If there's a certain deck you want to see us do a deck profile, we'll give you our opinions and our views on how the deck should be built. We are probably going to be doing intro videos to everyone that's in our group here soon. I can't guarantee that, but I'm hoping we will. We're also going to be starting to do dual videos for both Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! We're hopefully going to be doing Pokemon here soon. So if you like the video, please like and subscribe. We're going to be trying to do it a little more regularly. It's just the guy with the camera lives far away from the rest of us, but we're going to have to drag him out here to do it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe, please. We have a video that has over 100 views, but only 14 people have liked it, or even said anything about it. And see you at a regional or Nats.
Alright, thank you, Wyatt. Again, please remember to like, subscribe to our video. There's a deck profile you guys want to see. Just comment. We'll do our best to get the profile as quick as possible. Alright, bye guys.